Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dearest life partner, Pyari, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. After the full verdict has been published today, it is very likely that tomorrow night or tomorrow, after the order reaches the jail gate, I might be taken to the condemned cell. And this is the rule. Probably, this is the last moment of the government. Hence, at the last moment, they might proceed to hurriedly commit this heinous act. I suspect that they will not accept the review petition. Even if they accept it, there is no possible from the worldly point of view to change their verdict. It is a different matter if Almighty Allah Himself intervenes against the conspiracy of implementing this verdict. But according to the eternal law, Allah doesn't like to do that all the time. The unbelievers killed unjustly even many of the prophets. Many honorable companions of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, even female companions, were murdered barbarically. In exchange of those martyrdoms, Allah has utilized those whose sacrifices in the way of making the truth and Islam victorious. There is no way to know what Allah might ultimately do in my case. Yesterday, Sujata Singh, the Foreign Secretary of India, not only encouraged the Awami League but also pressurized Hussain Muhammad Ershad. She even warned him about the possibility of Jamaat-e-Islami coming into the power. This shows that the phobia and the hatred towards Jamaat-e-Islami have spread within every blood cells of India. I have been saying it from the beginning that whatever actions are being taken against us, all of these have been designed by India. The Awami League cannot back away from it even if it wants to, because this time the Awami League came into the power only by surrendering to India. There are many people talking about the principles and ethics, the way all of Jamaat, including me, were framed, and the way almost all the press in our country have assisted the government in its unjust actions. Then what is the point of talking about principles and ethics by the government, while the judiciary or trial itself has taken the role of hangman and has become intoxicated with the desire to kill innocent people? It is not right in any way to accept the natural fair trial and justice from them. I have only one regret. I am not able to explain it to the nation of the unjust way we, especially I, have been given the death penalty. It is not entirely possible, as the whole media is hostile towards us, but the nation and the just people of the world will definitely know the truth, and my death will be cause for the downfall of this oppressive regime, and the Islamic movement will advance in a long way because of this injustice, inshallah. Yesterday I read again from verse 17 to verse 24 of Surah At-Tawbah. In verse 19, it is mentioned that the fighting or jihad in the case of Allah with one's life and wealth is far more superior in rewards than serving the house of Allah or Kaaba and giving drinks to the pilgrims. This means that Allah Himself mentioned about the far higher status near to Allah for those giving their lives in the cause of Allah in order to establish a just society of Islam fighting against injustice than those who die naturally. If Allah Himself wants to place me in such a honorable position in Jannah or paradise, then I should be ready to embrace such a death, because dying unjustly in the hands of oppressors is a confirmed ticket to the Jannah or paradise. Probably in 1966, the tyrant ruler of Egypt, Colonel Nasser, put to death Sayyid Qutb, Dr. Abdul Qadir Auda, and many others. I have listened to many lectures titled such as Trials or Tribulations in the Way of Islamic Movement. More than once after such lectures, Professor Ghulam Azam used to say by touching my shoulders with his left hand that the rope of gallows might fall onto these shoulders too. My hands also went near to the shoulders, thinking about it. If this time Allah truly implements His decision as a means to advance the Islamic movement, and myself further as a cause for the downfall of the oppressive regime, then what is the loss in that? While speaking about the high status for the martyrs, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, expressed his desire to come back to life repeatedly in order to die as a martyr again and again. Those who die as martyrs will also express the desire in the Jannah or paradise for coming back to life and die again as martyrs. The word of Allah is indeed the truth. The word of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, is indeed the truth. There is no iman or faith if one doubts in them. If they or the government do implement their decision to hang me, then they may not allow me for my funeral to take place in Dhaka. If possible, then try to arrange for my funeral at my village mosque and my house. If the people living at the other side of the Padma River want to attend the funeral, then they should come to the area near my house. They must be informed about that. I have already told you about the grave. It should be at my mother's feet. There must not be any expensive or wasteful function or any innovative practices like walling the grave. Give donations to orphanages as much as possible. Take care of those families suffering losses while involved in the Islamic movement, especially those martyred during protests against my arrest and verdict. Give priorities to those families when suffering any hardships. Arrange for the marriage of Hassan Maudud soon after finishing their studies. Same goes for Nazneen. Pyari, oh Pyari, I have not been able to fulfill my rights of you and of the children. Please forgive me with the intention of getting rewards from Allah. I pray especially for you that Allah arrange for your meeting with me again soon after you will have completed your duties towards the children and the religion of Allah. Now you pray so that Allah takes away all love or feelings and attractions for this world from my mind, and instead fill my whole heart only with love for Allah and His Prophet, peace be upon him. Always advise the children for lawful earnings. All of you be careful about the Farj and Wajib duties, especially about the prayers. Give same counsel to the relatives as well. Give condolence or comfort to my father if he is still alive until then. Inshallah, see you again on the steps of paradise. Your beloved Abdul Qadir Molla.